Good morning, Last City. Stanley here with you, and we have another week ahead of us here in the city of red borders, god rolls, and artifice armor. However, unlike every other week, this is our first reset without the longest serving voice actor in Destiny. Last Friday, we lost Lance Redrick to natural causes at only 60 years of age, known to all Guardians as Commander Zavala. I, for one, have heard his voice almost every day for the last 9 years. The Tower and Destiny aren't going to be the same without Lance. No one can replace Lance as Zavala, and hopefully Bungie gives the commander the send-off he deserves. At the Battle of the Twilight Gap, Zavala held the line. There wouldn't be the Last City without him, and there cannot be Zavala without Lance Reddick. Rest in peace, Commander. The Tower and its Guardians will never forget you. Now, whether we wanted it or not, we've stepped into the weekly reset. Pinnacles are ready for the taking in the Root of Nightmares raid, along with a certain not safe for work Warlock armband that somehow made it into the game. Given how short the raid was on contest mode, I feel bad for the Butterfly Nezzy now that Guardians are back to full power. In the raid and dungeon rotator slot this week, Vaulted Glass and Shattered Throne drop pinnacles at the end of their activities. However, by now, most of their loot really isn't that worthwhile, unless you're still chasing Vex. That's pretty much the only reason to run Bog at this point. You just need the Mythic cast. For the Nightfall, the Arms Dealer Strike rotates in. Unlike past iterations, Hawthorne and Cade will not be on the comms, and new locations and objectives have been added since the Shadow Legion have taken over the strike. To pick up the Malicious Birthright, fight through Barrier and Unstoppable champs. Keep in mind incoming solar damage is increased by 25%. It's also worth noting Togetherness is active, where base health regen is reduced when not near Fireteam members. To aid Guardians, Strand Surge, Void Surge, and Rocket Surge are the buffs this week. Meanwhile, over in the Crucible, Iron Banner returns, much to the disappointment of Trials enjoyers. Control is the flavor of the month. This banner, Jorum's Claw, and the Bite of the Fox have been added to the loot pool with the departure of Razor's Edge and Frontier Cry. Besides the banner, Momentum Control replaces the previous mode in the Rotator playlist. Momentum Control is basically D2's version of SWAT from Halo, so for Guardians that find the 0.5 second TTK too slow, Momentum Control is for you. Now with that, it's time to check in at the Tower. This week, Banshee's offering you Under Your Skin once again, this time with successful warm-up and perpetual motion, natural fletching, straight fletching, flexible string, polymer string. If you don't have a good bow, this is pretty decent. It's pretty decent. Successful warm-up on bows. Pretty good. For the glaive, the weird red dot sight glaive is back, this time with Impulse Amplifier. Tilting at windmills, blocking damage with your shield increases movement speed while shielding. Which I guess is kind of useful in the Crucible, I don't know. Swap Mag increases this weapon's ready and stow speed. Light Mag increases reload speed and slight increased range. Tempered Truss Rod, and a low impedance windings. No idea what that means. Or if this is even any good, but it's a glaive, we have a ton of them, and they all kinda do the same thing. The Peace of Mind is also here, and if you haven't crafted one already, what is wrong with you? The Peace of Mind is a terror to behold. This one, not so much, as it has Elemental Capacitor, Compulsive Loader, Appendage Mag, Armor Piercing, Extended Barrel, and Fluted. You can craft a far better version than this. Farewell is back from Season of the Splicer with Vorpal, Moving Target, Appendage Mag, Tac Mag, Arrowhead Break, Polygonal Rifling. You can do better. For the sword, we got a weird-looking machete blade with Whirlwind Blade, Energy Transfer, Heavy Guard, Swordmaster's Guard, Enduring Blade, and Honed Edge. kind of missing out on a lot of perks you want on a sword, so you can just skip it. Bungie also has the 7th Seraph Officer Revolver, which looks a lot more heavy than a 180. It is sadly a 180. But it does have high impact rounds, air assault, Seraph rounds, arrowhead break, and a full bore with a ranged masterwork. This honestly might be worth your time. I'm gonna pick it up and see what's up. You know, I'm just gonna do that. We also have the 3 Scout Rifle. You're really not creative with your names, Viced. With a headstone, 4th times the charm, appendage mag, flared mag, chamber compensator, polygon rifling. Might be a decent PvE. Scout might be pretty decent PvE, you know, 4th times the charm. Pretty good perk for the PvE, not Crucible. Headstone. It's always fun turning things into stasis. We also have the red back sidearm with surrounded subsistence, accurized, chambered compensator, and small bore, which could be useful in PvE. Why are you using a sidearm in PvE if you don't have a bounty is my main question there. The Ikalos shotgun, the once meta go-to DPS shotgun, has returned with 1-2 punch. Feeding Frenzy, extended mag or a light mag, corkscrew, full choke, but let's be honest, you probably already crafted your god roll. Man, how many times do I gotta go over this? We have Taipan at home, go craft Taipan. We do not need to buy Taipan, but if for whatever reason you do, this is honestly a pretty decent roll. Firing line, clown cartridge, liquid coils. If you desperately need a good linear, you can pick this up. A grenade launcher, which exists. We have impulse amplifier stats for all, proximity grenades, mini frags, quick launch, smart drift control, but I honestly have never seen anyone using a grenade launcher in anything serious since Swarm of the Raven was nerfed. Over in the pay-to-win store, we have Iridescent Coral, which is iridescent. Lion's Pride, which is very
Don't know where my uncle finds these things.
pridey. A weird-looking ghost shell, but I'm pretty sure it's from the Arc 3.0 subclass collection that we didn't get until way later. Instead, we had a Fortnite crap launching alongside Arc 3.0. Make that make sense. Attempting to find, and this is Bungie trying to trap like good content in the game. Like, it just never seems to work, you know? Or for Bright Dust, you could have an infinity door projection. For those who just... What is this for? Okay, I know what it's referencing, but why would Guardians want to like hold down Ghost and be like, hey, remember how you fucked up and allowed the Witness to carve a giant triangle into the Traveler? Yeah, this is forever gonna remind you of that. That's messed up. That's messed up. And that is a sexy ass ornament for the Ostiostriga. An experiment. Oh, for those of you who like. We also have a ship for those who like to kick it old school and look like your rocket might explode randomly. The Sparrow that once again you're not going to use because it's not the Raid Sparrow. Another weird looking ghost shell that looked like it decided to bury itself in Chappie's head. Gloves from something. I don't know if this is a new seasonal like armor thingy in the store. And a magic trick where we are once again trying to make content out of nothing. Anyways, from all of us at Tower News, thank you so much for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic weekend. Goodbye, Commander.